Good morning, guys. Happy holidays. And this time of year is one where we are able to slow things down a little bit and get a bit of headspace and reflect on the past year, the successes, some of the things that we maybe didn't achieve, and what we want for the next 12 months. Now, a couple of insights from the books that I've been listening to more recently and how I think they can help us when we're looking to achieve our physique goals, our habit-based goals, and maybe the sense of self that comes along with dialing in the very simple things, right? The very straightforward things, the things which we've been meaning to do for some time, so perhaps they're not quite as straightforward as society would have us believe, while it's given us these six-pack abs exercises and PDF training routines and gym memberships and all the things which are actually in themselves amazingly helpful. But perhaps, again, just to look back around, if you're here in the end of another year and you feel like you've not actually done the things that you wanted to do last year, then maybe there's always a value in compassionate curiosity. And they're both important. Being curious is key, but also doing so without the judgment of shoulda, woulda, coulda. So, yes, a reflective time of year. So, happy holidays. I'm not going to forget the title, unlike I did last week. This week I'm listening to, in fact, there's a couple of insights I want to share with you. One of them is from Stretch by Scott something or other. It's a red book, if that helps, the colour of the book. And he talks about the power of intentions and New Year's resolution, very topical for next week. And bear with me a moment as I walk past the calories in, calories out brigade, as I like to call it, the whack, whack, whack. Okay, the ducks, and they're the masses. All right, they're the ones that would have you believe, I mean, this is a metaphor, right? Bear with me. They're the ones that would have you believe that this stuff is easy, despite the obesity crisis, right? I mean, it's glaringly obvious that things need to change, and perhaps these rambles in the morning are part of a wave of change that it's been a long time coming. Technology, social media, mental health, obesity, like maybe it's all coming to a wonderful pivot point in the fitness industry. And again, I can say that from having worked in it for most of my life. So that said, Stretch, the red book. All right, it talks about New Year's resolutions. Now, just for clarity and just to anchor this with some personal reflections, if you've got lots of personal trainers, lots of coaches on, your social media, like I get sold to a lot by a lot of different types of people. You probably do as well as a business owner, as someone that's got a degree of success behind you. You know what they're up to, and they're well intended, but and again, chapter 10 in the book Stretch talks about this in the sense that you're 10 times more likely to achieve your goals with a New Year's resolution. Like, you might not be very likely because 95% of people put the weight back on within 18 months because of the failings of the systems that they use and the approach that they have. And, all of that jazz, I get that. But if you don't set a New Year's resolution, you're flipping, it's like be intentional, right? Set goals. I think it's ironic that a lot of the mentors and coaches will have you set goals, but then perhaps this week they'll be like, oh, New Year's resolutions don't work. It's like, dude, goal setting is a fundamental part of what you do. Don't tell me not to set goals, but then I'm in your program and you set goals. So the reason why I'm challenging that concept is, again, there's two options with these videos. You either get where you want to be or you have a conversation with me. about getting where you want to be. Whether we work together or not, it's awesome to chat, right? COVID's here. I like to speak to people. A human to human conversation, right? Heaven forbid, in this day and age, that should be a good thing. Like, I love coaching people. Anyway, so that's stretch. I'm setting New Year's resolutions. Set them, all right? And if people say, oh, you don't work, you're going to put the weight back on, and, they're a waste of time. Well, they might not be the best use of time, but they're not a waste of time. If you want to set New Year's resolutions, do it, all right? Go for it. Own it. Tell people about it. And when they be negative, tell them where to go. Tell them to come speak to me. Right, now, the other one. Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Work Week. Been meaning to read that for some time. Started it this week. And he talks about quite a few different things. And it's about lifestyle redesign for, I think it's basically for me. I think that's his target market is me. But the premise is the same. When we're looking to achieve a goal, the idea is that it fits in with our lifestyle. It uses the principle that I use in my program, to be honest. But, and here's the thing that he talks about, and Tim Ferriss, he's a dude. He knows what he's on about. I'm going to listen to him. The book's called The 4-Hour Work Week. Live your best life, earn the money that you want. The usual spiel, right? Yada yada yada. Selling the dream. But he knows what he's doing, so I'm going to listen. So with what he's saying, and this will anchor with health, with our goals, with if you're watching this, you want to lose weight, you want to feel great, you want to be able to keep the weight off, you want to find, you want to be in a place where you're not worried about kind of looking at the food that you're eating and should I eat that, and all that. You get the hint, right? So Tim Ferriss, he talks about retirement, like working until retirement in a job you don't like is not great because ultimately, like your best years would have gone. So you're pushing things onto the future. That's not good. Number one. Number two, if you love the work that you do, by the time you want to retire, you're probably going to end up wanting to work again because you love what you do. So again, that's not really kind of helpful. The other one, which is like door number 3, and again, just I do hope this is of help to you this Monday morning. The other one, which is door number 3, is that if you get enough money when you retire, it probably won't be worth that much. I think that's kind of where it comes from, this timing of going on a diet, of starting a fitness journey, of I'm just going to focus on this and then I'll sort my health out. Like maybe they're just all stories. Maybe just like be intentional, set goals, but crack on with it. You're going to start small anyway. Get some wins. But maybe the biggest thing for you is that you get out of this mindset of putting things off, of procrastinating, of I've got to work on this. Maybe none of that's true. Like the only way you're going to find out is by doing, because you've got 3 levels of learning: knowing that it can be done intellectually, seeing that it can be done other people, and experiencing it. You don't really know until you do it, and that's when the fun really starts. Speak to you tomorrow.